How does it feel, man? How does it feel to be 20 years in this, through the ups and downs, and still be here, and still have a fan base who still want to hear Ruff Endz? How does it feel, man, to be in that space in your careers?
Man, it feels blessed, man, to be in that space, man, because who would have ever thought that, you know, No More would come back around, and because of the pandemic, people was posting it, you know, it kind of went viral for a minute. And people just, you know, still showing us love, man. And, you know, we have records that I guess stood the test of time, if you will, you know. And so not everybody, you know, got a chance to do that, man. So we feel definitely fortunate and blessed, man, to be able to come back, because it's songs like No More, Someone to Love You is the reason why we're able to come back with a rebirth, you know what I mean? So we are thankful, you know what I mean? And it's nothing but the fans and people like yourself with platforms like this that that's a part of that, the reason why we're able to make a comeback. So
definitely salute. You know, sometimes folks get offended, right, when you see like their record and memes and stuff like that. Were you guys ever, you know, disappointed by it, or did you take it as, you know what I mean, people showing love?
Indeed, Chi, I'm gonna let you take that question. You heard that?
A little bit. It echoed a little bit.
Echo?
Yeah, what was it again? I got
pretty much like when people when folks was, when the pandemic first happened and you saw all of the memes and the different videos, and them using the No More clips. Did you take offense to it, or was it, you know, because a lot of artists get offended, you know, when folks use it in their music and things that are funny or entertaining. Did you take any offense to it, or did you take it as they were embracing you guys?
Oh no, not at all. Not at all. Anytime we got 5-year-old kids on TikTok making videos to No More, he wasn't even thought about with No More when No More came out. So I mean, when you got stuff bridging the generational gaps like that, man, that's all love. You know what I mean? Remixes, videos, all of that kind of stuff is all love, because it just brings back attention to our brand. You know, it brings awareness to our brand. So I got all love. I got all love for all of that.
You guys grew up in Baltimore. How did Ruff Endz come together? Just a brief on how you guys came together and formed this group.
Ruff Endz, man, we're like grew up in the same neighborhood. Dante's family is from the streets, you know what I mean? We both was in the same hood, you know what I mean? But I was the church family in the hood, and Dante family was, you know, from around the way, you know what I mean? He cousins, they hustlers, you name it. You know, Dante was hustling when I met him, you know what I mean, when we linked back up. But we grew up in the same neighborhood, but it was not until in high school we reconnected, you know what I mean? I was at a piano, and I had some cats that could sing from the music class that was around me. We was trying to get some harmony going, you know what I mean? And Dante was sitting looking, you know, he was all swagged out, had the Wallabies on, you know what I mean? And I don't know how old you is, Flo, but I don't know if you remember the days of Pelly Pal. Remember those Pelly Pal jackets, the leather joints, you know what I mean? He had the fresh Pelly Pal on. He was sitting back looking at us. And he came over and started singing with us, man. And it was a vibe. And music kind of brought me and him together. And really, we became best friends for real. So you're looking at a brotherhood. And that's kind of the beginning of how we started, you know what I mean?
Chi, anything you want to add to that?
Anything you want to add to that, bro?
How much time we got? It's like,
Nah, we good, bro. We free.
Nah, I'm playing around. Man, it was divine intervention even from the beginning, because I was into a bunch of stuff back then that I'm glad I had a chance to see differently, to see different different options. You know what I mean? To be able to change my life. I mean, to the point where I thought about it one day, it brought me to tears. Like, you know, I couldn't even see another way at one point in my life. You know, to be able to change, to be able to see a different way and change my trajectory from where I was headed was everything. It was a difference between life and death. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when I look at like my daughter right now, LaDeja, who just turned 15, I think about that like, dang, like, I could have messed up her future of even being here. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's that deep for me. You feel what I'm saying? So this music and this group and putting that group together and moving in a different direction and fighting so hard to get a deal, to do all of that, it changed me focusing on stuff I shouldn't have been focusing on, put it like that. So
yeah, man, God had a different plan for you than what you had for yourself. You know, things like that always happen. We can't give no credit to no one else, but you know, the greater power of God, because we think we want to go in this direction, and you got a whole bunch of things around you pulling you in the direction that you need to go. You know what I mean? Definitely.
Facts, man.
So,
and how we got the back together, when we get to that, you'll see again the divine plan again, man, which is crazy.
Gotcha. So, who was some of y'all musical influences? Like when y'all first got together and y'all was out there on Be More, and y'all was, you know what I mean, doing y'all thing. Who was the folks that y'all was looking at, studying?
Well, Ruff Endz always wanted to be. We were initially a quartet group because our two biggest groups was Jodeci and Boyz II Men. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So we loved Jodeci because they looked like us. You know what I mean? They was like from around the way. They looked like they was rough around the edges. They was hanging out with rappers and, you know what I mean? So
it was in the mix.
They was in the mix. The name Ruff Endz, we got our name from a group called the Ghetto Rats in Baltimore. They were like the Baltimore Wu-Tang Clan. It was like 30 niggas. You know what I mean? They was on the street selling all kind of stuff, you name it. You know what I mean? They was from around the way, the block. So that's the kind of people we was hanging around like on a regular. And then Dante's family was from around the way. You know, they was, you know, hustlers. So our name came from, you know, people like that. So when we looked at, you know, Jodeci, we definitely identify with them. But Boyz II Men, it was undeniable. End of the Road, those records, Harmony. You know, I come from a big family. They all musical. So Harmony was just a natural thing to me. You know what I mean? So we were really trying to be like the groups that we looked up to. So, but long story short, it's a guy named Scholar that was a part of Dru Hill at one time. Dru Hill had many members, I'm sure y'all know, but if there was a guy named Scholar, or we call him Rue Scholar, I don't know if you remember, but it was a guy named Scholar from Baltimore. He was on one of the roughest part of Dru Hill at one time, but he was the guy that told us, man, don't even worry about those other guys, man. You know, they can't make up their mind what they want to do. Look, y'all just rock with y'all two. Y'all from Brown the Way, y'all sing, y'all voice is crazy. People love y'all. Y'all got a special thing with y'all. He said, y'all should just rock with y'all two. And when he said that, Ruff Endz was born. You know what I mean? And you know, that was history.
Wow. When No More took off, did you guys expect that record to take off the way it did? Like when y'all was picking out the singles, was, you know, because most of the time it's that record that you think, nah, maybe we should do something else, and you end up doing that record. You know, I've interviewed a lot of people, and it's always been that record that's one of the biggest that the artists or 1/3 of the group was on the fence about. Was you ever on the fence about No More being that single?
Dante, you got that?
Man, listen, the stories behind No More is so crazy. First of all, the album was finished. The album was completely finished, and we felt like, you know, when we listened to the album, we used to look at each other like, bro, we killed that. Yeah, bro, we killed that. You feel me? So, and then No More being the last song, it wasn't even like we were singing like on the rest of the songs. Like we were singing like hard, singing hard. And then we were singing about a lot of love, about, you know what I mean, baby, you love me, baby, don't leave me. And we go from that to no more shopping sprees.
Right.
So,
apologies.
and then it was like, to me, I felt like it was demo vocals. But Dave McPherson was like, man, listen, you ain't record nothing over. This is it right here. When we got back to New York off the road with Cameron and Strings and Porter Rap, the whole 21st floor in the Sony building was playing it. Like, that's it. Pack your bags. It's time to hit the road. So, I mean, shout out to Dave McPherson and Sony Epic for believing in this man, for seeing it, because we just couldn't see it at the time. I couldn't identify. Shout out to Destiny Child and TLC, because they made it perfect timing for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, they had those songs, what, Bills and the Bugaboo song. It was a lot of male hitting songs, you know what I mean? So No More was like that, you know, it was like a rebuttal, if you will.
It was like that Escape. This is for the niggas, strictly for the niggas. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's
right,
what it was.
man.
You know what I mean? The fellas was able to get in the car and play that too. You know what I mean?
Exactly, man.
You know, because everybody was on a different kind of tip. You know what I mean? Like the Donald Jones and you know what I mean, and the Where I Wanna Be's and all that kind of stuff. So it was just a different kind of time. It was kind of like Baby Take Me Back. And you guys came through like, nah, it's a rap. You know what I mean?
The rap.
You know, I had Troy Oliver on here a few weeks ago, and we talked about Someone to Love You.
Indeed, man.
Record, and he was like, "Yo, my friends, them some singing niggas. Them some singing niggas. Those are my boys, man." How was the process of putting that record together? And I wanna specify that record because that's one of, I think that's, you hear that, it's timeless, man. It's timeless, you guys. That record is played at weddings, anything to do with love. That record is played, and I'm pretty sure you guys, you know, you still making money off of traveling and doing events to perform that song specifically. So how does it feel to have one of those records? Because not every artist have that. Not every artist have a wedding record. You know what I mean? How does it feel to have that with Someone to Love You?
Man, it feels good, man. Again, like Someone to Love You was the song we was trying to get to on the first album, you know. So we wanted to come out with a Someone to Love You because that's again, it goes back to Jodeci and the love songs that we all grew up listening to. So we didn't think No More was gonna be the song, you know what I mean, at first. So when we got to a record like Someone to Love You, it was really like a breath of fresh air. Like, okay, this that record, because we wanted our fans to know us for slow songs, you know what I mean, for real. So to have a record like that, to work with Corey Rudy and Troy Oliver, man, was just amazing. I didn't know it was going to still be as big as it was, you know what I mean. It dominated the urban AC market for like 20-something weeks. Did really well on the urban AC charts, man. So again, I feel blessed, man, because not a lot of groups get a chance to do and have some songs that just keep staying around, you know. And again, we shout out the fans that keep us around by loving the songs and playing it and streaming it and posting it and all that good stuff.
And I think that was your record where if people didn't hear that first album, if all they heard was No More, that showed that you guys could really sing. You know what I mean? And those ballads is where you really hear all of the vocals, and No More, you hear you guys singing on the record, but you know how it is when you mixing kind of the hip hop into it, or how it could be like, nah, they probably really can't do nothing. That's all the track, that's everything else around it to build that record. I think that Someone to Love You was the record that really showed, like, nah, these brothers could really do it. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
You know what?
Yeah, no, you're right. No More was definitely the hip hop inspired, and we love hip hop. Like I said, it's part of our DNA because of the streets that we come from. We come from the Ruff Endz of Baltimore. So hip hop to me is like the music. It's like what music is for the streets. You know what I mean? So it's a part of us. But to get to that Someone to Love You record was like, really what we was trying to get to. So we glad that we was able to really give a song that is a part of so many people's stories, man, and so many people's lives. So appreciative.
You guys had success with your first album, the second album. You guys had success with your music, and then you guys took a hiatus. If you could recall, what was happening during this time? Was it politics of the industry? Was it you guys as men individually? What was happening during this time during your hiatus?
Well, it was a combination of things. You know what I'm saying? Just being real. You feel what I'm saying? That's my brother, my man, 100 grand. I'm gonna be flat out with you. And when you got so many emotions and feelings for a person, you know what I'm saying? It's a side effect of being human. You feel what I'm saying? So when things ain't perfect per se, you bump heads. So he lost his dad. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Rudolph Chance. You know what I'm saying? Very super religious man that walked into the line of the Lord for all his life. So it was crazy for us. So we never really got a chance to really focus on growing and becoming men and fathers and stuff like that. And that was the time that we did that, you know. I started doing stuff for Kool in the Gang and started doing stuff with Slave and started building houses and spending time with my daughter. I had a daughter and all of that stuff. And Dave started producing movies, built the company, started producing videos and all that stuff. So the crazy thing about it is, like, in our separation, we were preparing to rejoin like Voltron or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like I build video sets. David shoot movies. That's you can't write that. you know what I mean? They write movies about stuff like that. So it's like we both had to take that time to grow up as men for each other too, because our communication was suffering. You know what I mean? So, you know, I had to get my wisdom. Dave had to get his wisdom himself. And coming together, joining back together with our talents and our synergy, it had to come to this rebirth project.
You know very well said. And, you know, sometimes, you know, people, you know, as brothers, man, as sometimes you know, with family, with friends, sometimes you need that space in order to grow individually. And you know, and people don't get that. You know what I mean? Some people don't get that. Like, you know, I did my research, and you guys never, even and I studied you guys, and I watched you guys over the years. You guys have never bashed each other. You never, you know what I mean? You never went on interviews, never went on nowhere and talked bad about each other. You know, you guys, even on your solo in Denver's, you were still, you know what I mean, bringing back to the Ruff Endz brand and prepared for this moment. And that's what I highly respect about you guys, that it was never no, you know what I mean? It's never no BS in the game. And I'm pretty sure if you guys had a chance to do things the same way, you'd probably do it the same way again. Because if you guys stuck together, right, through that, you know what I mean? And then things fall apart.
Right.
Sometimes some relationships come to the point where they're unfixable. You know what I mean? So to separate and grow as men, you know, is a good thing to see, man, instead of putting each other down in those times when we disagree.
Indeed. You hit it right on the head, brother, because it's family, you know what I mean? When you have family that you love, when you love somebody, when you really love somebody, stuff hurt, you know what I mean? But you won't let them go, you know what I mean? And that's kind of, we all got that people in our family that you might go through things with, but that's your family still, you know what I mean? And that's kind of what it is with us. You know, Ruff Endz is not just a group, we're a brotherhood. And, you know, music brought us together, and it brought us together a second time. And so I'll wait for you to answer that question, then I'm going to talk about that.
I just want to add something quick. I want to give a big shout out to a lot of our brothers in the industry that we lost. We just lost somebody from Troop. I mean, we got quite a few people. We lost Shabadu. I mean, we lost quite a few people. So I want to definitely say God is good. You know what I'm saying? Thank you to, I mean, even our ancestors, whatever you want to say. Like, there's a lot of people who don't make it here for other reasons. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad both of us are vegan. We healthy. We fairly decent looking guys. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thankful about that part. You know what I'm saying? Because we could be back together and be not as well put together, like a nice piece of leather, as they say.
Definitely.
Ooh.
Definitely, man. Very well said, man. Very well said, man. It's all a blessing. You know, I want to talk about this new album that you guys have been preparing for. You have 2 new singles out. Congratulations and Be the One. Right? How did what was the process like getting back in the studio and putting this project together for you guys?
The process was well, if you don't mind, I'd like to talk about how we got back together, because I like to share that, because that's a divine design. You know what I mean? Because it really speaks to the rebirth of Ruff Endz again. You know, a friendship. Dante is in a part of Baltimore called Pikesville, and I'm in the same area. We call it Jewtown or Jewish Town. And on Saturday, on the Sabbath, they are all over the streets. You know, Jewish people are walking through the streets with their kids and strollers and you name it. So at this time, I'm actually talking about Dante in the car. You know what I mean? I'm just talking about memories. Man, we was doing this and that and the third. And I haven't talked to Dante in years at this point. We haven't seen each other. And this is around the time of Freddie Gray, rest in peace, and all of the stuff that was happening. Our city was on fire, all that kind of stuff, right? And so I'm actually talking about Dante in the car, like, man, see this guy right here? Sometimes I think I see Dante everywhere. I'm like, see this guy right here? This guy even looked like Dante. And when I said that, that was actually Dante. Now, let me switch to Dante's story. While I'm saying that, he's on the phone with a girl that was at a show that he just did, because Dante was still doing shows because people still wanted to hear No More Shopping Sprees and Someone to Love You. So even though I wasn't in the group, he had another guy, you know, filling in and doing, you know, my parts or whatever. And the girl was like, you know, he cool and all that, you know, he can sing, but you got to get the original member back in the group, man. He's like, y'all 2 different animals on stage. You got to get the original guy back in the group. And while she is saying this to him, he can't even really get a word in, because she keep going on and on about the show and this, that, and the third. And while he's talking to her, he looks like, hold up. David is coming at me right now. Because I pulled over. I go back to the car with me. When I seen him, I pulls the car over and I get out the car. Like, I almost pulled the car off in the middle of the street almost. And I get out and I'm running across the field like, yo. And it's kind of like a movie, like one of them slow motion movies where somebody running across the field in slow motion. And he's like, yo, David, look, while you're talking about him, he is actually coming at me right now. You know, so we was talking about each other at the same exact time. And we came together and did a song called Time for Change, which was really the rebirth. You know, was a song, you know, a lot of stuff was happening in Baltimore. We wanted to do something for our city and for people that was going through stuff. And that's how we got connected, man. So you're looking at 2 guys, man, that have nothing to do with this. You know what I mean? We just walking in purpose. And this time around, man, we wanted to do an album that was reflective of where we are as men now, you know what I mean? And our goals and our mission, which is to really love on our people like never before, man, with the platform that we have, which is music.
You know what's crazy? I don't mean to interrupt. You know what's crazy is that I was at that show, right? Because my family right? My cousin on the Rock CNT, he probably started on the live. Derek Sanders did that show. That show that he's talking about, he was at, that he performed.
Wow.
It was in Queens at the Resorts World Casino. Me and him was just talking about it the other day. He did that show, and I was at that show. So it's just crazy how small world and how the tables kind of rolled. But yeah, I was at that show, and he was on stage.
That's great.
Somebody else singing, and yeah, man.
Yeah, I remember it very well.
Indeed, man. God's design, brother. So
you know what I mean?
What can you say to that? When that happened, like the way it happened, look, you got to actually look into it. You know what I mean? So we have, brother.
Hold up, this is bigger than you and I.
Exactly.
It's bigger than you and I, and God uses us. You know what I mean? And y'all came together and y'all made a record for your city. You know what I mean? That was all. This ain't nothing but a coincidence. You know what I mean?
Facts, man.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. People showing y'all a lot of love in the comments. Shout out to everybody on the check-in.
Appreciate the love, everybody.
This new album, The Rebirth, it means so much to you guys because of the space where you came from and where you're at. What message do you guys want people to take from this album when they hear it?
Well, first of all, we stick with the message of love, and I'm gonna be kind of brief. I ain't gonna go too deep with it, but let me just say it like this: in Baltimore alone, there was 350 murders. Right now, Baltimore is not as big as New York. You feel what I'm saying? Baltimore, a little small place. I'm not talking about Maryland. I'm talking about Baltimore. It's small. 350 murders. I'm talking about not just men. I'm talking about children. I'm talking about a rise in women.
Kids.
I'm talking about kids going to the store. My homeboy, a DJ friend of mine, lost his daughter going to the corner store. You know what I'm saying? So when we preach the message of love, like, we be damn near in tears, man. I ain't even gonna lie, because I'm thinking about something deeper. Like, my homeboys I grew up with, when we leave each other and we give each other love, we be like, yo, love you. You feel what I'm saying? At first it feel weird, because, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, we men, we straight up. But then it's like, listen, stuff happens so crazy out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want that to be the last thing you say to somebody you really rock with. You know what I'm saying? So man, for us, it's about family. It's about relationship. It's about the real level of R&B, where we really sitting thinking about what we're writing. We're thinking about our delivery. We want people to really get a sense of genuine connection when they hear the songs. You know what I'm saying? Like, so shout out to SRG Universal for believing in us, for giving us a chance to reconnect with our fans. Shout out to Terry Harvey management. SRG wanted us to do a whole new project. They wanted us to give y'all this right here. You know what I mean? So, it's about love for us, bro.
And to add to that, brother, we did a lot of stuff. We did some things, first couple albums we came out with, but coming back around this full circle, man, like I said, everything that we saw online with our community and our people, we can no longer be a part of the problem musically no more. People try to say music doesn't influence. Whatever, you know what I mean? If Obama put a suit on, ain't nobody trying to dress like Obama. But when Lil Wayne throws something on, you got a whole nation, or Drake or whoever, you know what I mean? You got the influence of music is worldwide. When I went to Japan and I saw Japanese dudes with the gold fangs in their mouth, dreads, and they was smoked out. They was really about that life. I was actually laughing, but I had to catch my laugh because they was about that life for real. Bumping Wu-Tang Clan. You know what I mean? Like, that's power and that's influence. And you know, so to us, man, we've got to do better. And music has always been a teacher from the beginning of time. And so we have vowed to make music that encourages, that uplifts our community, man, and that's what we're here for.
Especially in the times that we're in, man, we need that, you know what I mean? We need that kind of music for healing, you know what I mean? For people to reconnect to themselves, and you know, the world is just in a different space right now. So definitely salute you guys and commend you guys for putting out this project. And I know that the people are gonna love it when they hear it. How many songs is on there?
Got 11 songs on the joint right there. You know what I mean?
That's clean. That's clean.
You know what I mean? Excited about that one, man. Look, we got shout out to Crazy Bone that's on this joint too, man. We were actually label mates. Bone Thugs was on our label back in the Epic Sony days. But we did a song with him that we really excited about. The whole album, man, it's got a positive perspective. Like the song Congratulations. It's a breakup song, but it's not your typical breakup song. You know, most breakup songs, niggas gonna dog you out. You know, the girl, like he wasn't, you know what I mean? It's that kind of, we heard those records in R&B. Like there's 1,000 breakup songs and most of them is on a negative tip. But we wanted to do something positive, you know what I mean? We wanted to do something a little different too. And as men, you know, when you live long enough, you realize that there's a hand, there's divine design in your life, you know what I mean? Right. And I realized that the people, you can be in a relationship and you arguing with the girl or whatever, but come to find out that's not where you belong. You know what I mean? Some doors need to close so that other doors can open. And when you see life like that, it moves the bitterness away. You know what I mean? And it becomes more of like, this is all divine design. So girl, all that arguing we was doing, it was for nothing. You know what I mean? We was arguing at each other because we really we don't belong together, you know. And I love you. I congratulate you for finding your new man. She married now. I moved on, that kind of thing. So it was a song that we wanted to kind of do a different spin on breakup, to really bring about a positive spin on how breakups can actually be a good thing versus something better.
Can I add to that real quick?
Yes, sir.
It's, first of all, it's grown man. Regardless of what age you are, the action is grown man. The action is grown woman. You feel me? Sometimes people need to be set free. You know what I mean? They got a certain kind of love for you. Y'all got a bunch of stuff y'all love, but there's certain things that y'all got that just conflict, and y'all not right, and y'all know it. Being real grown man is like, you know what? I'm going to give you that freedom, because some people need that to really move on. You know you ain't right for it. Say, look, you know what I mean? You know, sometimes people just not meant to be together, you know what I mean? And I got love for you, or I got love for your kids or your family or whatever the situation is. But some people need to hear that to move on with their life. You feel what I'm saying? So songs like this and other songs on our album, I got to say, the essence of Ruff Endz too is really thinking about what we write. That's really Ruff Endz. That's David Brown. We really thinking about, when we write songs, we really thinking about the story, the aspect of it, how it's gonna land on people. So that's my 2 cents.
I love it.
How many up tempos on the album? You could give that. How many up tempos? How many ballads?
Well, that's a good question. We got Party Over Here as the first up tempo. Shout out to R. Kelly. That's definitely, he's one of my writing inspirations, but I ain't gonna go on R. Kelly conversation right now, but you can't take nothing away from his talent, man.
He's a genius musically.
He's a genius, man. All of My Love that's kind of a mid. So we got Party Over Here, Be the One, Hopeless, Your Body. I think those are the up tempos. Everything else is on the mid slow vibe. You know, mid tempo. You know what I mean? So
put that thing on.
Crazy Bone and everybody on the West Coast too.
Say it again, bro.
No, I was just saying, shout out again to Crazy Bone and everybody on the West Coast. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Crazy, man.
Yeah, man. It's good to connect with the West Coast.
Who's some of the new cats that you guys listen to? Like on the R&B tip.
Oh,
Like you guys listen to and you would work with.
I'm a Chris Brown fan, man. Like, he's phenomenal. Chris is crazy. I love what Anderson .Paak is doing. You know what I mean? Him and Bruno Mars. I love that vibe they got going on. On the hip hop side, I would say you got people like Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole. There's a few other people that I've been listening to everything, man, because I need to, I'm a producer, so I always got to do my homework, if you will. You know what I mean? You're always listening to see what's going on in the world.
Well,
but go ahead.
I gotta add my 2 cents.
Definitely, definitely.
But I listen to everybody. You know why? Because I can't undercut nobody's talent out here. It's a lot of very, very talented young men, you know what I mean, as well as people in our age bracket, as well as people in the age bracket above us that's doing the damn thing. You feel what I'm saying? It's their turn on certain levels to be in the limelight, to shine. You feel me? And I love them for that because they going hard. They us. You feel me?
Exactly.
Ain't nobody telling them how to do what they doing, and they going in. And I respect that. And the world is a stage, so it's enough room for all of us. You feel what I'm saying? So it's definitely room for Ruff Endz, but it's also room for artists like Vito the singer, and
Vito is dope.
Eric Bellinger, and people like that. You feel what I'm saying? That's exceptional writers and producers. You feel what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody trying to get theirs right now. You feel me? I'm rooting for everybody that's trying to get it.
And shout out to some of our peers, man, like Urban Mystic, underrated dude, man. We y'all gonna see some of the raspy voice. I call it the Raspy Voice Club. Y'all gonna see some stuff in the future, man. Some collaborations that's gonna be real good for the R&B culture, man. So
real quick, Darnell Jones. This guy, something new came out. Shout out to our brother in the industry. Shout out to our brothers that just came out with something. Quite a few people. Shout out to our label mates, everybody from Vivian Green to Raheem Devon, Brian McKnight.
Oh, that's my guy too.
Seven got an amazing project coming.
After 7 got a nice one, yeah.
Stevie Wonder over there, ain't no telling what Stevie gonna do. He a monster all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Stevie's a beat.
SRG Universal, the new home of R&B. We love y'all. Thanks for giving us a chance, man. Thanks for making us relevant again.
I love the space that R&B is in right now, man. I love it. I love the space that R&B is in. A lot of people be like, R&B is dead and different things like that, and it's not. You know what I mean? You just gotta know where to go get it. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, the radio, is not what it used to be and everything like that. You know what I mean? On the side of R&B, but R&B is definitely alive. You know what I mean? You got groups like you guys, Ruff Endz, who represent brotherhood, who represent true R&B, who represent being men. You know what I mean? Putting out an amazing project. We know it's going to be amazing. The rebirth. April 2nd, right? April 2nd?
Man, April 2nd, man. We're excited. Add official Ruff Endz on Instagram and Facebook. The Real Ruff Endz on Twitter. Follow us, man, because April 2nd is not only the rebirth is dropping, but the first video, the Be The One, is going to be premiering on Vivo as well. And we got some special performances, man, coming to you. Some live online streaming ones that we're going to be doing on some major platforms, but want to make those announcements on the page. So definitely stay tuned for that. And we're excited about it, be doing what we do, man. It's like a basketball player that can't play ball. You know what I mean? It's because of platforms like you, Flo, that, we're able to be connected to our fans, man. So you're just as more important, or just as much as important as groups like us But we need you as well, man, because you provide the platform for us to connect. We might not can get on a certain radio station, but we can come here and our fans can connect with us, man, and that's worth everything in the world. So we appreciate what you do for the culture of R&B, bro.
Salute, Kings. Thank you, guys, man. You know, I ask everyone who come on here, and I gotta ask you guys, what do you want your legacy to be?
Well, first of all, shout out. I gotta say Terry Harvey, man. Terry Harvey is a cigar smoking. It's him and Deanna, man, which is our manager. Exceptional guy, man. Exceptional team that's see our vision, that's seen our vision from the beginning, and gave us what we needed, which was some good management. So thank you, Terry Harvey, Deanna, and the whole team. So next we got album at the album coming, man. We ain't stopping. You know what I'm saying? It's time to apply pressure. You feel me? We went through a lot in 2020. You know what I mean? The rebirth is 2021. And we some healthy brothers. We focused, and we found our way through all of the bull. And it's time to keep putting it in. You feel what I'm saying? We got a lot of visuals coming from the album. I ain't gonna let too much out of the bag, but you know what I'm saying? We're gonna work with a lot of people that we really wanted to get a chance to work with. We're gonna bring those things to fruition as well. But
and we got the Ruff Endz documentary coming as well.
www.srgstore.com, because when you pre-order and get the album from there, you get a signed postcard.
Put that in the comments.
Not planned, really signed, real signed postcard.
Oh, no, that ain't right there. They're gone now.
You know what I mean?
They clean up a little nice, you know what I mean?
Clean up a little nice there, Cletus.
Yeah, man. So I mean, like I wanted to just add to what he was saying. The Ruff Endz documentary, we're gonna be telling our story as well, like never before. We got a lot of people that was a part of our story, like Patty LaBelle being one of them. A lot of people, a lot of things that we want to talk about that we're not able to talk about on certain interviews because it's you know of time or whatever. But look out for the Ruff Endz documentary. Like he said, the album's coming out April 2nd, and a ton of visuals coming after that and shows. You will see us this summer on a stage near you. So if y'all going out to see some concerts this summer, definitely look out for us because you will see us this summer, man. So
definitely, I want to lock some stuff in with you guys as well, man. Things are opening up and things are lightening up. So definitely we're gonna talk.
And where you at, brother?
I'm from New York originally, but I'm in North Carolina.
Okay, that's what's up. You okay? What, Charlotte or what?
Charlotte.
Oh, that's
Charlotte.
what's up.
Right outside Charlotte. They said they got the album pre-order.
Charlotte, Burgall, Wilmington, Rocky Mount, Castlemaine, Benson, Lumberton, all through there.
Yeah, he got family from throughout the North Carolina, area. That whole area is. Wow. He probably done ran into his cousins down there. Like half the North Carolina is UWB. His
country
family
city
deep
boy.
Down there.
I'm a country city boy. I go fishing and all of that. Look out for the fishing channel coming soon.
For sure.
Hey, man, next time you catch one, man, make sure you send one my way, man. I'll put it up on the grill.
Oh yeah.
Man, gosh, I freeze them to send them to you. I don't play. I'm a country boy, country city boy. But listen, shout out to everybody, man, that checked in with us. We had a nice connection, a nice audience. Shout out to everybody that tuned in, tapped in. Shout out to the DJs as well, because it's DJs in places where we ain't on the radio or was on the radio that goes super hard for groups like us. And we want to say right now while we got a chance, we love y'all, appreciate y'all. Showing up.
Man, indeed. I appreciate you, brothers, man. You want to add anything to that, bro? What you guys get about it?
No, man. Again, thank you, Flo, for having us, bro.
Got shout them out.
Definitely. Thank you. And look, Raphael, appreciate the link up, man. The whole SRG team. our management, Terry Harvey, the whole Ruff Endz team as well, our road manager, our whole team, and all the fans that's on here right now, sitting here listening to us. Without y'all, we would be talking to our dang on self. You know what I mean? So I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for giving us life, man, and supporting. And we vow to uplift, encourage, and inspire y'all through the music. We love y'all.
Blessings. Good way to end that, man. Ruff Endz, thank you for joining the FloWay show tonight. If you missed any part of the conversation with Ruff Endz, it will be available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. All right. That album, The Rebirth, it drops April 2nd. It's available for pre-order, right? What's the website one more time?
www.srgstore.com. That's www.srgstore.com. You can pre-order that right now.
Make sure you get the album. Make sure you support April 2nd. And the video to be the one that's coming out April 2nd as well. Thank you, guys. I look forward to seeing you guys soon, man. Much blessings to y'all, man. Thank you for coming on the FloWay show, man. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, my brother. I'll see you soon, man.
All right, peace.
Love, bro.